Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and hey, yeah, it's another video about iTeros. Woo! I feel like I can't make enough. You guys have so many questions. I already have tons of iTero videos made, so if you want to watch them, I'd recommend you watch those first before you dig into this one because this is going to piggyback off the other ones. If you want to consume those, go into my YouTube channel, which is Straightsmile Solutions. That'll take you to my channel. It has a green banner. Once you're there, scroll across the top tabs until you get to the one that looks like a magnifying glass. That's the keyword search. You can put in iTero. And definitely, I've made a lot of content about the iTero 2 versus 5 versus the Element, the different types of 5s. It's a personal decision. I definitely would not buy an iTero from somebody else. If you're going to buy a used iTero, be it a refurbished 2, I would buy it directly from Align Technology, the iTero company. I would make sure that guaranteed they're going to be providing service and updates to it for the period of time that you need it, whether it's you're paying it off in 5 years, 3 years, whatever. You don't want to get that in writing. Of course, all the additional monthly fees, you can bake those in. You can finance those in. Everything is negotiable, especially with used iTeros, and especially towards the end of the year. There's nothing wrong with an iTero 2. There's a few downsides. Obviously, the graphics aren't as beautiful. It's not quite as fast, a little bit clunkier. But if you can get it for $15,000, $20,000 less, and I'm not quoting this exactly because all the prices are all over the place. A lot of this is going to depend on the time of the year, how much inventory they have, quotas. There were some major deals and sales I heard last December about the 24th of December. It was ridiculously cheap to get it to. The only thing that I don't really love is that if you get the 2, you can't use their new in-face software or their newer simulator programs, which are really lifelike. They put it in the face. It is a big selling point. It's not a deal breaker by any means. Certainly if I were a new grad or starting a new practice and money was tight, I would, unless I was an orthodontist. If I was a GP, I don't think I'd have an issue. We have it too in one of our practices and it's not a problem. It works great, totally fine. So, that's pretty much the tricks and tips I have for you. Nothing wrong with it. And later you can always trade it in, for something else if you want it. If you're a pediatric dentist, you might want the 5 because of the near technology. It definitely has an ROI to it. But I think that you need to go to a show. Obviously Chicago Midwinter already passed. I'm trying to think of what's coming up. AAO is coming up. What other shows are coming up? I think Hinman already went by. I don't think there's that many more shows coming up. I think there's one this summer. Maybe there's an AGD one. But you really need to try it out. You need to have your team try it out and feel what it feels like in your hand. Make sure it's a good fit. There's all different alterations. There's ones on carts, there's ones on wheels, there's ones that are laptops, there's ones that are more like kiosks. You need to see what's gonna fit. You need to think about, are you moving it from room to room, to office to office? There's so many things that you need to think about in terms of checking it out. Remember, when you buy one, it's gonna take a while for it to show up. It's gonna take even longer for you to get trained up on. So sometimes they'll give you another one as a placeholder until your new one comes in. Sometimes they won't. You also want to make sure if you need replacement parts, you want to work out how it's going to work, because if you're doing this regularly and doing what I recommend, which is scanning every single patient in your practice, you need to have your iTero up and working. So, all right, hopefully that was helpful. Lots of questions for you to ask. All right, thanks.